Hi everyone, Karen Cecilia here. I trust everybody's doing good. And not so tired now. Well, still tired, but getting back the strength that I lost in the last 2 or 3 days, doing all of that on the road. I want to talk to you about my, as Hollywood would say, my meet cute with Damion Young, the handsome and compassionate candidate for Northwest Manchester on the JLP side. I want to say to all those PMP people and JLP people as well that if Portia Simpson Miller was passing by Damion Young's constituency office and saw the people there, she would have stopped. And if by some machinations of the universe, Peter Phillips or PJ Patterson or even Michael Manley would have been passing there, they would not hesitate to stop and give Damion Young a hug, a slap on the back, an encouraging smile, and establish a camaraderie that Jamaican people like to see. Because those people are patriots, and those people understand that Damion Young, being a JLP candidate, is your opponent and not your enemy. And that is what most PMP people and some JLP people don't understand, that we are not enemies. They are just opponents. So here's my meet cute. Very short, I want to tell you my meet cute about how I met Damion Young. Please remember to give the video a big thumbs up, all right? And share it with those who might be interested. I've never met Damion Young before. So here we are, moseying on down to Mile Gully. The intent of going down to Mile Gully was, we'll link up with two old YO people who can tell me what go on. We're going to stop on the road and talk to people. If we see people, as we normally do, we just stop on the road and talk to people. If we see people gathering for whatever reason, we stop and we talk to people. And boy, that's usually our trove of information, because nobody that looking for them, and they never expect nobody to come and ask them something. So that's how you get that information. We were coming from Kendal, where we spent a good 3 hours in Kendal. It was the best 3 hours of the entire Resistance tour ever since we started touring. I kid you not. Ever since we started going on the road, those 3 hours in Kendal were the best 3 hours spent talking to people. The yam factory people, the people who work at the police station, and the guys in Kendal, and all the girls that we met. It was wonderful. So we left Kendal and we said, well, so we're going to Mikael Phillips ends. And as I said, the whole idea is to just head down to Mile Gully. As something happened to me something that happened to me that has never happened to me before. And I mean never, ever, ever, ever happened to me. For years, I have driven across this country, and every time I left my yard to go drive somewhere on PMP business or political business, I am always armed with my thermos of tea. I carry a thermos of tea. It is something I carry. I never get to carry tea yesterday. I have traded in the thermos for one of those fancy cups where you can drink from it instead. I hate it. I'm going to get myself, I need a proper thermos. I hate that whole fancy cup thing. We have drink the tea from it. It look very Butuish and very uncharming and very un-British. I don't like it at all. I want a thermos where I can pour my tea out. And I have perfected the art of pulling over and pouring the tea into the cup, the cup part of the thermos, and then put away the thermos and then proceed to drive while I drink my tea. I have perfected the art. I have never spilled the tea. Tea never burned me up yet, never dropped in a pothole yet, and I've been doing it for years, and let me knock on wood. In this instance, going down to Mile Gully, it wasn't tea because I forgot the damn thing, and it's Michelle cause it. Every time Michelle come in Kingston and she stay over, we have to go somewhere, she's always running behind time and running late. And she has nothing doing, not a thing doing. Princess find her way here, and I am downstairs getting ready, and she's still upstairs locked up in the room, not moving. So she come in, comfort, I suppose. So she always running late. And it's those things why I forgot my tea. So here we are, moseying on down to Mile Gully ends. And a bottle of Lucozade. And I took it up and I pull it. Driving slow, because we're looking for people to talk to. We're not driving fast. And I drinking the Lucozade. And I don't know what I did. I can't even, maybe Michelle or Princess can remember what I did. But whatever it is I did, the Lucozade spilled all over my white pants. And we pull over, and I always travel with more than one towel and rags. So there's this rag, and I wet it up with water and started to wipe it out of the pants. But it wasn't coming out as fast as I want to get the majority of it off. The stain would still be there until it get washed. But I wanted to get that out of it. So wiping frantically, and I said, all right, let's find a shop. We're out of water, so let's find a shop where we can get some water and I can come out and properly wipe this thing off, because I'm going to make more stop. I don't want it, this bright thing. It looks terrible. When I used to be traveling with my own car, now I wouldn't have such a problem if it was my own car, because my car always have a situation bag. There is a situation bag in the trunk of my car. It having everything for every situation. That's why I call it, it's not a traveling bag, it's a situation bag. So it would have been easy for me to change off into a dark colored jeans if I was in my own car. But, this is not my car. So here we are, looking for a shop to wipe the Lucozade out of the jeans. But let me back up a little bit and tell you what transpired before all of that, which made the day so extraordinary, deeply spiritual, which made the day such, there's no way you can miss the fact that God is in the midst. There's no way you could. Here's what happened before that happened. We stopped at a place to get a soup. We saw this place, in jerk place, and where there's jerk place, there's people, of course. So you get a chance to talk to a couple of people, and Princess gets soup. The jerk place not selling anything that me and Michelle want. Michelle only eat vegetable. I don't eat chicken thing, and I don't really eat food a road anymore, so to speak. I will eat a piece of jerk pork. I will eat a patty. I'll eat a bun and cheese. Not going to the cook food thing when I'm on the road. So we stop at this jerk place. Princess get our soup, and we're waiting for the guy to finish fry the festival so we could get two of those, because I'm going to eat two of the festivals. While we were there doing that, there was this mother, just a little bit, about 20 yards down at a shop pizza, on the phone, talking to somebody, and her son, who attends the Mile Gully, the high school behind the jerk place up in the hills. And he seemed, distressed and crying. And the owner for the jerk place was a woman whom we spoke to. She said that, boy, them box him up, and I wonder what it is. So I went down to where the lady was and the young fellow, and I asked her what happened. And she said about 15 11th grade boys took her 9th grade son and boxed him up. Him face red, him face kind of swollen, him totally distressed. You can see that he was a quiet, reserved little fellow. And she was on the phone gapping, mothers are, me and them and them parents and the school and all of that. So I not paying she no mind, so I went over to the little fellow and I hugged him and I held him for a good while. I just kind of held him and just rock him and whisper in his ears and soothe him and tell him it's going to be all right, and ask him quietly how he want to handle it. If he want to go down to the police station and report it. In his ears, I'm telling him that. And he said, yes, miss, I want to go and report it. And I rocked him and I soothed him and rub his back and whisper nice thing in his ears the same way I would have done Matthew and Philip, Andrew and Troy. So I whispered those nice things to him and kissed him on his neck and kissed him on his jaw and held his face in my hand and just comforted him. Then a taxi guy drove up and asked her what happened, and she told him, and he went on his phone calling some people, and I don't want to be a part of that. So I said to the mother, if you wait 1 minute, him say I want to go down to the police station. Just 1 minute until we're festival done Friday, and we'll drop you at the Mile Gully police station. Strange enough, it's little below the police station. I'm so really supposed to link up with these old YO people. But all of that changed. So, got to a festival, and him and the mother came in the car, and we took them down to the police station. On our way to the police station, the only thing we can do is offer comfort and words of wisdom in terms of how it should be handled. And we drop him off and wish her well and wish him well and tell him to hold up his head and encourage him. Princess was around the back, of course, encouraging him as well. And we left. And it was just little after that, the Lucas Hill spilled. And that's about driving now. Sorry, there was no shop. We already passed wherever. So sorry, we could pull over and see if we can find a shop. So we were coming down. I saw a little crowd somewhere, and Michelle said, "Oh, see, that look like one bar or one shop or something." And at the time when we pulled in, I never recognized, never realized that there was the JLP sign above. There were a whole host of people, a good amount of them, in them green shirt. There were some men sitting at the doorway to the entrance to the campaign office in their green shirt. And I pulled in, I was going up, and one of the men that sat there was beckoning me, was instructing me to come further and come further. And I came out of the car, Michelle rushed and get the water, and I proceeded to wipe the thing out of the pants. And then it was then that I realized that this is a gathering of JLP people. So I came out, so I stood up and gave back Michelle, get a put out the rag and stuff, and went up to the gentleman who was directing me in my parking. And I extended my hand and said, "Hello, my name is Karen Cross." And he said, "Don't do that, man. Don't do that, man. You don't need to introduce yourself. You don't need to tell nobody your name. Don't do that, man. We don't need you don't need no introduction right here, sir." But anyway, I proceeded to still do it. To shake everybody's hand and say hello. I want everybody to be at ease and to be, not to, it's me. And him start talk to him, brethren. We don't know how it is, right? And one of them say, "Yeah, man, but you worse than she." I tell them, we know what. And I stepped into the office and say hello to all the women. There was a series of women sitting down in the office space. And there was a young lady, apparently the secretary or the receptionist. And I shook everybody and say hello to everybody and, be my normal self. It's my normal self. And then we stepped back out and started talking, and the whole excitement. You get the whole gist of the excitement, and introduce Michelle and Princess, and so the excitement just enhanced. After that, then the gentleman who seems to be head cook and bottle washer for everything, I don't remember his name, but we have his name. Him went into the office apparently and told Damion Young that I'm outside. And then Damion Young came out and did his own, that like a starstruck thing. And that discomforting thing for me. Everybody glad to see and stuff. And I'm trying to break it or make it normal. Because it was becoming a little not normal. So I had to make it normal. Give him a hug and him talk. And he was genuinely very delightful to see him and to experience that warmth and genuine delight on his face that we are meeting, for me to meet him and him to meet me. And it was a wonderful camaraderie there. It was nice. And then, he said he wanted to do videos and he wanted to take pictures. And we say, all right, we can do that. And we did that. The videos and the pictures and the hugging. And it was warm and fuzzy and nice. It's my kind of atmosphere. Warm and fuzzy and nice. And we enjoyed ourselves there. Then, after the video and the picture taking, Damion went to talk to some young women that came to him, and he took them up to the far side of the building where there was more shade and away from the crowd so that they can speak freely. That's how the politics work. And left us down there now with the group of JLP activists and workers and members still craving to talk with us. And another thing amazing happened. I'm telling you, that is one of those days when God just in the midst, and there's nothing you can do about it because He's Him in charge of everything. Eli, don't do that, Papa. Don't do that. Don't do that, Eli. And, okay, Eli making a little fuss. It's a dog. And it was one of those days. So the other amazing thing that happened is that one of them asked me a question, and I proceeded to answer the question. The question was, so we think we have a good chance of this? And I proceeded for about 20 to 25 minutes to basically give the JLP workers and activists and members a rundown of a training session that I would normally do for a set of PMP people. I did. We talk about how them going to win, how you win first, where you win before election and on election day, and what you need to do and the things you need to put in place, and taking nothing for granted, and stop talking about we have that, knowing where to find your people, and even if you're going to buy some people, a strategy as to who you're going to buy and where they are and where they hang out and how you're going to locate them. Something came to me when I was doing that little 20-minute training session. I remember about 2 days before election day or day before election when I put out this video. And what I did, I sat in my car out in central St. Mary, out by Dr. Guy. And I sat in my car and I did the video. I did the video because I saw something. I saw where there was no extra activity that was needed because it was COVID. And I called Maureen Webber after I did the video, sent it to her, and asked her how she feel about it and if she like it. And she gives a thumbs up and said I should put it out. In our conversation, we were talking, I said to her, I don't know if the JLP doing something different, but I don't get the feeling that the PMP doing something different. Because years of being in office, there was this level of arrogance that had developed among the PMP MPs and the operatives and the personal assistants and they, all of those who were involved in all kind of things, and them and them MP, and nobody else involved because of them and them MP and them and the minister. So that level of arrogance had grown to an overbearing height. And it existed on election day. It existed on election day. I'm not saying that was displayed by Dr. Guy's people, but it was there that I first recognized it. That this level of arrogance coming from the PMP MPs, and the PMP, the PMP people that and the power that they have had, which kind of spilled out from 2016 where we lost by that small margin, and everybody now and them hype, thinking that them going to do this and them going to do that. And Maureen and I was saying to her that I don't think them understand that with this old COVID thing still hanging over the country, that something extra is needed in order to meet that numbers line that you have. You have a numbers line. If your numbers line is 10, the fact that COVID is still in the air, that numbers line needed to be doubled, and then your efforts to get 18 out of that double need to be doubled. And it never seemed to me that they were doing it. So what I was saying to the JLP activists and members and campaign staff and workers in that 20-minute staff, and during that 20 minutes, I'll tell you, during that 20 minutes, you could hear pin drop. I'm sure Michelle will tell you about it, our princess. You could hear pin drop. No amount of vehicle that passed disturbed the serene atmosphere of people just paying attention and people just understanding what I'm saying to them. Because what I said to them is that if you can't find all the people that you found in 2020 and double that, you might as well stop doing this. I want to just hang out right so and cook some food and do all that, because that will help. If you don't know where those people are now, not election day, you'll not be able to bring them out because you don't know nothing about them and you don't know them, which is a problem with both political parties, that you really don't. You depend on a certain amount of people to come out because they're a JLP and a certain amount of people to come out because they're a PMP. Those are going to come out. You can't do nothing about them. They will come. You have to go look for them. So let's put that one side and think about the bigger number that you need, because Damion could only muster 4,000 plus voters in 2020. Had he mustered the numbers that the JLP got in 2016, Mikael Phillips would have lost in 2020. And that's a point I was trying to bring across to them, but what I was saying to Maureen in 2020. Had the JLP numbers that they brought out in Northwest Manchester in 2016, had Damion Young been able to get that number in 2020, Mikael Phillips would not be MP today. So what I was saying to them is that if we can't find them there, on a goose cook. But then, them also have to recognize that they lost all 4 seats in the local government election. All of them. And of all the seats in the parish council, is only 2 seats. In 2 seats they get to top 900. I think in 1 seat they get 999. That might have been in John's Hall that they got that 999, and then they got I believe 979 I believe they got in the Mile Gully region, which is where they were. And that's basically getting beaten by over 20 points each time. So therefore, their only chance of coming even close is to go find that 2016 numbers that were there. And maybe, just maybe, some of those 2016 numbers were some people that vote both PMP and JLP, and they would have to find them. But that problem is not only theirs. That problem is also Mikael Phillips's, because he and the JLP brought out that 2016 number in 2020. He would have lost by maybe about 200 votes. So him have to go find that 2016 number as well. And from all indications, it looked like Mikael Phillips might be able to find those numbers. But once again, I caution in terms of how I see election these days. Nobody no must win and nobody no must lose. Nobody have to win and nobody have to lose. That don't exist anymore in our politics, because our voters are sophisticated and they are emotional, yes, but they are also intellectual, because they're asking questions and them if you ever hear the discussions we have in Kendall, listen man, your head would spin. So them know what's going on, and they also know what is at stake. So who is going to get back those 2016 numbers and up it? Because for Damion Young to have a chance at all, he not only have to bring out the 2016 numbers, he have to look at his enumeration and find those people whom he has enumerated, if he did enumerate anybody. Because I told them, you win your election on enumeration and election day. And if they can't find those numbers, they only have one other choice and one other chance, and that is your election day operation, your ground operation election day, which can be chaotic and can be organized, and it can yield all kind of results that nobody thought possible. Also on election day, you have a chance to actually see people that you never saw for the 4 years that you're looking for people. Somebody might show up and say, me name Tommy. It's about you look from something from when we have this name, we can't find who name every time we come, this man gonna work or I'm gone, this and him not dead, and about don't know who that name, and then here he is on election day. So that is the whole thing. So there I was, giving the JLP people at the campaign office of Damion Young a whole insight as to how this election is going to boil down. And Damion's affability and his is not a sourpuss face like Mikael Phillips. Mikael Phillips is an established name and an established MP and all of that, but him is a sourpuss. And Damion is affable and charming, and them call him a jobs boss. It looks as if, according to some people who are not JLP, that he has this way of finding work for people. And that in itself is an amazing thing. If you can compare that up to the sitting MP and say, okay, we have found in the last year we have placed 150 people in jobs. In the last 20 years, tell us how many people you have placed in jobs. And stuff like that. Or Damion Young could always have a whole host of women around him and some young people. The young people are looking for something different. They don't want the same old, same old. And I will tell you about that when I do the live to tell you about the whole tour. Is that what we got in Manchester overall, and this is the only thing I'm going to tell you about the overall tour. This one thing that we got was that young people and not so young people as well, them want something different now. Them don't want the same old, same old. So you come and you promise that you're going to do that, and then you come and you do the same thing that the man did, the man before you did, or the woman before you did. And it makes no difference to them because you never did anything strange or anything different. And that to me is even an amazingly strange thing, which is why I tell you this tour, this week tour, this Manchester tour is probably the most fascinating and most information filled that we have done since we've been doing this in 2022. So, I mean, there's a whole host of things to tell you, but in this one, I want to tell you about my meet cute with Damion Young. He's a wonderful young fellow. Well, not that young, but I like him very much. And he's warm. And if you can tell anything about a person when they meet you, it's how they greet you. The hug, the glint in their eyes, and the affability. And he seemed to, it's not just me, when he moved with the young ladies, because those are the things I watch and listen and look out for. When he moved with the young ladies to go talk to them, he had his arms around two of them, and he was very comfortable in doing it. It's not a show. It's not a political ploy. It's not a campaign thing. It just seemed like a natural thing for him to just put his arms around two young ladies and say, come, I could talk about that. And they went with him. And that kind of affability and that kind of charm and is rare in our politics. I mean, I don't think I've seen that kind of charm. Peter Phillips has that charm, and Mikael Phillips never get it. I never get that from him father, but Peter Phillips has that charm where we just put him hand on your shoulder and say, okay, come whisper to me up here. So, and you whisper to him and it's done. It's done. And he's warm about it, and his eyes tell you that I see you and I hear you. And what Damion Young is doing, seemingly, is building connections and bridges. And building connections. He's not settled in just his JLP territory or his JLP bones, where I'm just looking for JLP votes. Damion Young is looking for all kind of votes, all kind of places in Northwest Manchester. And he can do it effortlessly because of his charm and his likability and how affable he is as a candidate. And he should be formidable. But let me caution that right now the numbers are not with him. The numbers are against him. And one of the things that political parties fail to recognize from time to time, and I think that 2020 blew that out of the water, is that no seat is a PMP seat and no seat is a JLP seat. West Central St. Andrew, before it became solid for Mr. Holness, was back and forth between candidates. There was Mrs. Yap, and there was Carl Thompson, there was AJ Nicholson, there was Mr. Holness. It has been back and forth. Just like seats like East Rural St. Andrew and Eastern St. Andrew. I don't believe the PMP have ever lost Northwest Manchester, maybe 1980. Maybe if anybody knows that, one can correct me on that. But it's just the numbers that would be against Damion Young. And as I said, in the local government elections, the PMP got nearly 1,400 votes in Spurtree, over 1,600 in New Green, nearly 1,500 in Johns Hall, and over 1,500 in Mile Gully. I figure that Damion set up his campaign office in Mile Gully because that is a greener pasture in which to get new voters and voters that are just fed up with the same old. And maybe that might be one of his strategies. The numbers are still moving against him as it is. But Damion Young, if you should listen, it was my pleasure meeting you. It was very nice. I like to meet people who smell good and clean. I really do. So that I smell them cleanness and they smell my cleanness. And it is nice when you meet somebody that just clean like you and smell good and affable like you and smile and is untouched by anything dark and terrible. And it was greatly a pleasure meeting you. I wish you all the best, and I'm sure we're going to link up again because the YO people in Mile Gully quarreling. So I got to go back at some point. So we will link up again, Damion. But in the meantime, should we not, God bless you and keep you and guide you. And I wish you all the very best on the hustings. All right? Thank you all for listening to me. God bless you all. Stay safe, everybody. And please do keep the children safe.